there, I'm Monica Lindstrom, and this is Legally Speaking. This week we're going to confront the question, what if my kid... So I'm going to give you a couple examples. What if my kid hurt another kid or a teacher on the playground? What do I do? Well, number one, you'd first have to look at the school policy. Find out, is the kid going to get in trouble? Are they going to get suspended or expelled? And then next, you might have to deal with the cops. You know, what age group are we talking about your child? Did they hit somebody on purpose? Did they hit somebody with something that was on the playground? So you could be dealing with a criminal investigation. Most likely, the worst thing that you'd have to deal with is some kind of civil lawsuit from the other parents. And that usually wouldn't happen unless there was some kind of extreme injury, like the kid needed stitches or had to go to the hospital or something like this. Your saving grace could be that the school often has insurance policies that would cover something like this happening on the playground. Now, it might not cover the entire injury, but it could definitely help lessen any judgment or any amount that you might have to pay if there was a substantial injury. Now, next, what if you invite another little kid to come over to your house and play, like a play date, and then the kid falls down the stairs or falls and trips over the couch, hurts themselves, they have to get stitches, they have to go to the hospital, or God forbid, they have a broken bone. What happens then? Well, in these circumstances, usually your homeowner's insurance, if you have homeowner's insurance, will cover any kind of injury as long as you're found legally liable. But you could be sued by the other parents for negligent supervision. In other words, if you're dealing with small kids and you should have been watching them and you weren't, they could try to sue you for negligent supervision to get the money back from any injury or medical bills that their kid might have. You might also get sued for some negligence there in case there was something wrong with your house. Now, usually when you invite somebody over to play for a social purpose, you don't really have a duty to those people to warn them of any dangerous conditions on your property unless they can't see them. Prime example, if you know that there's a stair that's loose or a railing that's loose on the staircase and they're going up and down the stairs and they fall, you could be held liable for their injuries and perhaps even negligent because you didn't warn them about that hidden danger. So in other words, just make sure your home is safe and watch the kids. Now, another example is what happens if your kid is screwing around at the playground and they get hurt? And I'm not talking about the playground at school, I'm talking about your local playground at the community park. Or what if they're hanging on those soccer goals that are always out there in the yard and something breaks or they fall and hurt or they break their arm or something like that? Well, the city and the government entities are typically not liable for any injuries that happen on those kinds of properties like a park or a playground if the person that got hurt is a recreational user. So in other words, almost everybody when they go to a playground or a park is a recreational user. If they get hurt, the city or even the owner of that park or the playground usually not liable for anything unless they specifically did something to make something dangerous to hurt your kids, which that's not really reality. So in other words, not much you can do there. Now, another example, what if a kid climbed over your fence to get into your swimming pool, or maybe they hit their ball into your backyard and they're climbing over your fence to get that ball or to go swimming, or they see something that's fun in your yard? What kind of duty do you have, and could you be held liable if when they're climbing over that fence, they fall and hit their head on your barbecue or they break a leg or an arm? Well, because you didn't give them permission to do this, they're considered a trespasser. And here in Arizona, you really don't have much of a duty at all to a trespasser, which means you're really not liable at all. But once again, if you have homeowner's insurance and if a suit is brought, if you are found liable for any reason, typically your homeowner's insurance will step up and help you with that, but not always. So the moral of this entire Legally Speaking is be a helicopter parent. No, I'm just kidding. That's what Joe, my co-host, always calls me. Just watch your kids, just teach them manners on the playground, and have some really good homeowners insurance. You can follow me on social media. You can also listen to me on Sunday nights with Joe Huizenga on The Agenda. We're on from 6 to 8 p.m. You can also hear me during the week on Mac and Gatos, Monday through Friday, 3 to 7 p.m. I'm their news commentator and legal expert. Until next time, take care.